When it comes to abuse, especially against an autistic person, for many of you, you can go out and if there's an issue, you take care of it afterwards. With an autistic person, we have to be prepared beforehand. Our friends and family need to be aware of what to do if an emergency arises. And they need to know what to do before that emergency arises, because their autistic friend or family member will likely get railroaded, because they will likely be bullied until they can't communicate properly. And then whatever they say can and will be used against them, even if it's because the police officer wouldn't allow them to finish speaking. For example, the officer that I had to speak with just the other day, who wanted to get a severe attitude with me and ask me a question, and then while I was attempting to answer his question, he was busy asking the question in a shitty tone over and over and over again. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, dude, but you're not going to hear the answer if you're busy asking literally the same question, exactly the same words, while I'm trying to tell you the answer. And then the dude had the fucking gall to complain at me that I was talking over him. Dude, I'm answering your question. And I'm pausing because you keep on interrupting me to answer or to ask the same exact question. I'm literally pausing to listen to you tell me the same exact thing. You want me to answer the question, you need to allow me to do so, not just be an asshole. So when it comes to safety in numbers, S.i.n, this is the number one thing on every single list. Every one of the things that a disabled person is told to do starts off with going to a friend or family member. Every single one of them. All of the lists that I have, the instructions that I have from the disability places and from even the hospital here in town, they all address friends or family before they address me. Now that's the adult version of it. However, we've all been taught the exact same thing since we were kids, what we're supposed to do to deal with bullies. And these are the same rules that I have followed since I was a kid, where possible. It kind of sucks when you're the weird new kid and that makes you an easy target. You ain't made no friends yet. So keep in mind, you may not always have a friend who will help you. Also, keep in mind, you might not have a family who gives a shit. But the first thing you're supposed to do with a bully is you're supposed to ask the bully to stop. Tell them how it makes you feel. Most of the time, bullies get defensive, and they show that they're being defensive by making fun of you for telling them how you feel. Making fun of you for having feelings. How dare you? Males are more prone to this abuse than women. So if that doesn't work, step two if you're being bullied. And we were all taught this in the 1980s in school and even throughout part of the 90s. And then it became popular to, we're supposed to feel sorry for the bully. The bully might have come from a broken home and we're supposed to feel bad for them and encourage their naughty behavior by ignoring it. But that's stupid. That is stupid. I've tried ignoring Andrew Wolnez. It doesn't work. I saw him again tonight, but tonight he didn't mess with me. He rode by on his bike, but I was walking with another person. And we've gotten to hear many people on my channel who, when Andrew Wolnez was going by, they said he's not going to do anything while I'm here, and they were absolutely right. He knows when he can and cannot do something. If there's people that know me and know the situation, he's not going to pull that crap. But if it's strangers, he's going to prep the situation the same way he always does, by telling everybody in the immediate vicinity that I'm a child molester, a rapist, and a murderer, and then pulling his bullshit and hoping that nobody's going to fucking tell on him because he pretended I'm a fucking pedophile. Pretty standard procedure for predators, if you ask me, from personal experience. So step 2 is you're supposed to, if that doesn't stop the bullying, you're supposed to go to your trusted adult, right? Who is your trusted adult? Well, as a kid, and the funny thing is, the list they gave me as an adult literally has all the same stuff that a kid's told to do. And I'll start telling you what those things are now. So, the first one, obviously, talk to your bully. Of course, if you do that, your bully gets to pretend that you're stalking them. Imagine that. So step 2 is go to your trusted adult, your friend or family member, the school nurse, school guidance counselor, your parents, a police officer. Basically, it's the list of who mandatory reporters are and friends and family. So if that doesn't work, then you're supposed to walk with a friend. Make sure that you have a friend with you whenever you go somewhere, safety in numbers. People are less likely to harm you if there's more than one person. You're less likely to get mugged when it's a group of 5 people than if you're by yourself. At a party, if you're raped, chances are pretty good that the person who raped you didn't rape you on the kitchen table in front of God and everybody. Chances, and that's not to say that's never happened, but chances are pretty good that you went to puke in the bathroom and passed out, or went to pass out in one of the guest bedrooms and some sick fuck decided to do some sick fuck shit. That's why if a woman goes to a party, now this is something I told a lot of girls in Chapel, Nebraska, when they were getting ready to graduate, or when they were getting ready to go off to college. Hey, when you go to a college party, always go with a female friend. Always leave with that female friend. One of you two needs to stay sober and never go to the bathroom alone, never go to a bedroom alone. Don't go sleep something off without a friend present. That's because I didn't grow up in small town Chapel, fucking Nebraska. I moved to Chapel, Nebraska when I was 15. Before that, I was a city boy. I was born in Scotts Bluff, but I wasn't raised in Scotts Bluff. I was raised in Boulder County, Colorado, Denver, Colorado, King County, Washington, Tacoma, Washington, California. Lived a lot of other places, but I never actually, as far as my memories go, other than my first foster home, I don't remember living in Nebraska until I was 15. That's because I moved out of Nebraska when I was, I want to say, 4 or 5. I went to Colorado where my mom was supposed to get custody of us. That was not going to happen because, well, my mom couldn't stay off the drugs. They told her that she could have us when she could show that she'd been clean for 30 days. She couldn't even handle that. So if that doesn't work with walking with your friends and family members, well, now we have other things we can do, like record it. But then my public pretenders, judges, fucking prosecutors, did everything they could, and police officers did everything they could to keep the evidence of what was actually going on out of court. When it comes to a protection order, a lot of that stuff that you're told as a kid goes right out the window. Police will tell you to follow those same exact rules that you're told to follow as a kid, except that if you follow those, if you try to get a address from that person, well, here's one of the things that in order to be stalking someone, you have to be asking them or trying to find out where they're at and who they're hanging out with. And I just didn't give a shit. I didn't care to know who Natalie was hanging out with. I only knew who Natalie was hanging out with because those people were getting a hold of me and threatening to kill me and my friends and family. If it hadn't been for that, I would not have known about Tim Beeson. Well, I knew about him beforehand, but I would not have known anything about him in order to speak up about him. Now, they pretended that because I knew who Tim Beeson was, that it meant that I was stalking Natalie and was stalking Tim Beeson and found out about Tim Beeson because I was stalking Natalie. No, I found out about Tim Beeson because he was getting a hold of me and threatening to kill me and my friends and family. The plain and simple of it. And the police officers in Natalie's case, that would be Detectives Rogers and Peterson, got to read those messages. The video footage of the situation where myself and Jai Rogers and Detective Peterson were sitting there speaking for about 3 hours. Where is that 3 hours worth of footage? I was given about, I want to say overall, about 25 minutes worth of footage. 28 minutes worth of footage. That ain't shit. They specifically cherry-picked only the parts that they could try to make me look crazy. They left out all of the useful information that I gave them, and that includes them seeing evidence with their own 2 eyes of multiple fake accounts made to harass me, of Tim Beeson threatening my friends and family and harassing me. They got to see that I was responding to abuse, not being the abuser. I was following instructions that I was given by the police officers, such as ask them to stop. Now let's go back to the first thing you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go to your bully and tell him how it makes you feel. Well, I tried being nice to Tim Beeson. I tried explaining it pleasantly and calmly and collectively. He wasn't having it. The other thing is, if the bullying is because of a rumor, you're supposed to go to the source of that rumor. Now, where is the source of that rumor? That would be Matty Boa. But those rumors were rumors that I had done horrible things to Natalie. And meanwhile, Natalie and all of this, and all of the claims that she's made, and all of the claims that these other folks have made, Natalie never accused me of any sort of sexual anything at any point in time. Neither did Alicia Bollinger. It was never okay to assault me as if I sexually assaulted somebody who outright stated that I did not have sex with them and did not have a sexual relationship and did not date. It's not okay for me to continue to be assaulted as if I raped Natalie and Alicia Bollinger when they were underage. And mind you, all right, since before Natalie was killed, it wasn't a just Natalie. It was a 2 little girls in Virginia is the claim that was made. This is what people were physically assaulting me over in Boulder, Colorado. I was told that I needed to get a hold of Natalie Bollinger and ask her to stop. And the messages that I sent her show that I did exactly that. I followed instructions. I was very, very nice about it. But you guys literally, you look at these websites, you don't see any of the attempts to follow instructions. And I was supposed to have a friend or family member present for that too. By the way, it's awful difficult to do that when the people that you're going to are abusing children. Imagine how messed up it was for me to find out after the fact how many of the people who promised to help me that had done horrible things to me were also either molesting children or beating on children. It's horrible. Meanwhile, it doesn't matter if I try to turn it in. The predators are going to say he's mentally ill. Take a look at Rayanne Ingersoll. She beat those girls repeatedly, and she got away with it. The people who are going to harm you, statistically, are going to be your friends and family in most cases. And you get to see in my situation, that is almost true. If it weren't for the fact that I was lied about, it would just be primarily people that I know and their associates. But now there's a bunch of random people. I have no clue who they are. They are extended friends and family of the Bollingers. That includes the police officers who helped them to get away with the gaslighting both before and after Natalie Bollinger was killed. So the first piece of evidence that I get to fight for is the full video, and I will be posting it public. 3 hours of conversation between myself and Jai Rogers and Detective Peterson. You'll get to hear that I told the truth, and they intentionally went out of their way to lie to myself and to the public to make me a target. To help the Bollingers and Tim Beeson, knowing full well that they had actively engaged in group stalking and harassment and gaslighting. And then they allowed the Bollingers and their extended friends and family to continue to gaslight me for literally years after Natalie was killed. And every single one of those officers wanted to intentionally leave out evidence and information, and every one of them intentionally lied, and lied through omission. Meanwhile, judges didn't mind violating my rights as a human being. I'm a homeless person, and my friends were not active in assisting me in any way, shape, or form when it comes to literally the instructions that I am given to turn in abuse safely. In order to turn in abuse safely, you have to have a friend or family member. Safety in numbers. Wolnez Maya craned his neck, almost breaking it, trying to eyeball me as he's riding away on his bike. But he didn't yell at me. He didn't scream at me. He didn't threaten me. He continued on his merry fucking way because somebody was with me.